Hey, just Antoine here. How to do my time, prison perspective. This is episode 2. Just Antoine here. Just excited to be here to bring this information. I've been doing prison ministry for quite some time, since 1996. I've been doing prison ministry, and most of those years I've been doing it on a weekly basis. And so I go to one unit on a weekly basis, and some on every, once a month or once every 2 months or something like that. And so I'm constantly in contact with offenders and ministering to them. I'm doing a class called Mentor the Kid and the CEO, and I'm also doing a purpose driven life class right now. So I got two different groups going on a weekly basis, and so it's very important that we know how to do our time if we're incarcerated, and even if we're in the free world, we have to know how to utilize our time, right? And sometimes we can be a prisoner, and when we're walking out in the street, we have freedom, but we don't know how to live free in our mind. And so uh, this is a podcast. Today we're going to be talking about really taking responsibility for where you are. And sometimes this is the hardest one of the hardest things for people in general, especially prisoners, to do, right? It's always somebody else's fault. If they would have done this, or if this wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. Or it's always somebody else's fault, why we are where we are. But if we can learn how to take responsibility for where we are, right, then we can take responsibility for where we're going or where we want to go. And so, but if we think that it's because somebody else did a certain thing, and that's why I'm in the place, that's why I'm in prison, that's why I'm stuck, that's why I'm in debt, that's why I'm divorced, that's why I committed this crime, that's why, because of some outside influences. Remember, outside influences cannot dictate to how we respond to the outside influences. And so we have to get to a point where we can respond correctly to any outside force that won't derail us for the place that we're wanting to go, desiring to go, have set our face to go. But if you have not said, you know what, I'm going to own where I'm at today, I'm going to own everything that has happened to me today and how I responded to that. I'm owning that. Of course, some things happen that we don't have control over, but we can control how we think about it. We can control its effect on us, right? And if we're going to carry it into the future, and how we're going to carry into the future, we have control over that. And so, I've been divorced a few times, and yes, I said a few. And guess what? I'm the common denominator in each divorce. It was something that I did. I could point blame at them if I want to, but I need to own it. I'm married right now. And so if I can't own those bad relationships, those relationships that I destroyed, then guess what? I'm probably going to destroy this one as well. So I got to own what I did in those relationships, in those marriages so that I can own this marriage and take responsibility for where this marriage goes. But if I always blame them, guess what? This one won't succeed. It won't. If I blame them and I don't take ownership of my part and how I allow what they did affect me. Right? Because we can't control people, but we can control our response to people. Hello? And so we have to own up. I apologize for that. I didn't realize I took it off. Do not disturb. Let me put that back on real quick. So that won't happen again. All right. So it's very important that we take ownership for where we are. Well, my parents did X, Y, Z. Okay. How are you dealing with that now? Certain things you couldn't control, but the way you look at it now, you better control that. You better take responsibility for that. Well, I was raped, I was molested, I was this, that, and the other. Okay, are you going to allow that to hold you back for the rest of your life? Or are you going to do something about it? Take responsibility and say, you know what? I couldn't have prevented that. Or maybe I could have. Maybe I couldn't have. It depends on that situation. Right? But I can now take that and use it for my benefit instead of allowing it to hunt me for the rest of my life and keep me from moving forward. So I need to take responsibility of how I'm going to utilize that situation and how I've utilized it in the past. Oh, this is big talk right here. It's heavy. It's not comfortable. But if you're going to do your time wisely, if you're going to do your time right, or in white, right, or orange, whatever color you find yourself in when you're locked up, if you're going to do your time right, you're going to have to take responsibility for where you are today. And then if you can take responsibility for where you are today, you can take responsibility for where you're going. I'm taking responsibility for where I'm going. I'm taking responsibility for how my bank account looks right now. It's totally on me, 100%. I could say the man did this or this happened, this, that, and the other. I didn't get paid on time, yeah. I can go down the list of blaming other folks. But the only one I can really blame is me. I have to take responsibility. Well, if you would have put yourself in a better position, you wouldn't be right here. You wouldn't have to depend on that. You don't have to depend on this. Yeah, they should have paid you on time. What stipulations do you have in your contract? So if they don't pay you on time, this, that, and the other, what you'll do this, that, and the other, or this is their consequence. And why don't you have enough in reserves to cover what they didn't pay? I got to take responsibility. I have to own it. If I'm going to own making billions of dollars in the near future. And guess what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take responsibility of where I'm at today. I'm going to take responsibility from where I'm at today so that I can take responsibility from where I'm going. Be blessed. I hope this bless you. I'm Just Antoine, and I'll see you guys at the top. Bye for now.